Good morning, huddlers. I have two quotes for you this morning. Get on the edge
Hold
of
on,
your
Saurel.
seats. Good morning, huddlers. I have two quotes for you this morning. Get on the edge of your seats and listen to the first one by Thomas Jefferson. As you know, today's Money Monday. Andrea and I and Giovanni are committed to you making your money work for you. So here's the first quote. Never spend money before you have it. That's Thomas Jefferson. Now, here's the second quote. It doesn't contradict the first one, but it creates an opening for something else that Andrea and I are going to share with you today. And it goes like this. If I owe you $1, I have a problem. If I owe you $1 million, now the problem is yours. And that's by John Maynard Keynes. Roll that video. Welcome, welcome, welcome again. Good morning, wherever you are. I want to acknowledge you and congratulate you for being here. I'm acknowledging your commitment to growing wealth. I'm acknowledging your commitment to creating and leaving a financial legacy. And I'm acknowledging your commitment to being here today, present for this conversation, a conversation anchored in having debt work for you and having your money work for you in the face of debt. But before we go there, I for you. What time is it?
Was the question? We missed the first name that you called because it broke when you said.
It's you, Andrea.
Yay!
Yay!
It's
What time is it?
right now, Saurel. The only time
is now. And I'm going to go to my good friend, Giovanni Gonzalez. Gio, where are you and who are you going to hug today?
Let me see. I am right here. Apparently can't escape it. And I am going to hug. I'm going to hug Mayita today.
Hey, Maita is lucky. Maita is lucky. You know, there's something funny about here, Giovanni. It is sticky. You could be running as fast as you can. You'd still be here, wouldn't you? Isn't that crazy? Now, we're fond of asking this question. How are you? Now, listen closely. You are the way you say you are. And in this moment, I invite you to say how you are. So how are you? And whichever way you say you are is the life you live. So welcome to your daily huddle today and welcome. Andrea and I have a question for you. Andrea, can you set up the context for today's conversation by going on the surface of our question?
Absolutely, Saurel. So we believe that money can work for you, right? That's kind of the premise. And we're giving our knowledge and working with you guys to build mindset and tools necessary for your money to work for you. So today, the big idea is that if you have debt, first we wanted to eliminate it, but if you have debt, we want that thinking about debt for you to see it as that is money you are giving to somebody to work for them. So it's working for somebody, but we wanted to change it is that is going to be working for you. That's a big idea, Saurel.
That is the big idea. And, you know, so remember the two quotes this morning. Never spend money before you have it. Now, when it comes to debt, many relate to debt as if it's a four-letter word. Now, I want you to know that there are two types of debt. One is enriching, the other is oppressive. Today, Andrea and I are addressing the oppressive kind. Now, oppressive debt comes from a specific kind of mindset. And you could characterize this mindset by saying something like this to yourself: I want it now, and I don't have the money to get it now. So I'm going to go into debt so I can have it now. And you know what? I don't think I'll ever have the money to get it. It's a circular kind of relationship with money that leaves you in a space of scarcity. And that's oppressive debt. That kind of debt always comes with a high interest rate, i.e. credit cards or payday loans. And that kind of debt is never tax deductible. Now, I said earlier, there are two types: oppressive, that's the oppressive kind. And then there's the enriching kind of debt. So what I don't want you to walk away with today is that all debt is bad. That's not the case. There's the kind of debt that's enriching. That kind of debt is usually low interest rate and tax deductible, like your mortgage or like a small business loan. We're not covering those today, and we're not saying stay away from those. You can use that kind of debt to create liquidity for yourself, and you can use that kind of debt so that somebody else's money is working for you. Now, the kind of debt you want to stay away from, the oppressive kind, is the one you want to eliminate so that your money is not working for somebody else. And we're going to dive right in how to eliminate oppressive debt. Andrea, what's the approach? What's the best approach to deal with credit card debt, the kind that's oppressive, that you want to eliminate so that your money can work for you and not somebody else?
Saurel, the word oppressive is something that is really, we want you guys to really focus on it, because if you have debt besides your mortgage, as Saurel was mentioning, or a very small money you have asked for to build your business, this debt is actually a mindset. So remember all the premise about what we're doing here with money. There's a mind component and there is a tools component. So in the mind component, you're in debt, not because it's logical, it's because it's emotional. So we are going to use this tool, which it has been proven to be a more emotional tool than it is logical, because you're in debt because of your emotions. You want to buy something now that you don't have the money for. Therefore, it's not logical, right? So are you following what we're saying, guys? We're going to really focus on an emotional tool instead of a logical tool. And this tool, which we have been building with you guys, that we have shown you, the first time was build your budget. Remember that first day of building your budget and how important it is to have your budget. Second day was your savings. So we have this idea of saving and thinking for saving. This third tool is about debt, and it is based on the premise of snowball idea. You have heard about the idea of going, listing your debt and putting the one with the highest rate at the top. Sure, those could work for people that are more inclined to be in debt because they were logical. 98% of the rest of the world is an emotional. So it has been proven that Snowball is the tool that we are going to recommend for you guys to use if you are in debt, and one that has worked specifically for me, yours truly, who is right now able to say that I'm debt free. So I'm going to show you, and we're going to we build this tool for you, and we're building it with you guys, but I'm going to give you some steps necessary for you to put your mindset in this idea. First, stop for today, please, worrying about interest rates. If you're going to go in this snowball idea, just forget about them. I know it hurts because you have one that is 10% and the other one that is 25, and you want to get rid of the 25.
Now, Andrea, if we're talking about oppressive debt, the difference between the interest rate from one debt to the other is probably minute, and most of them are probably above 17%.
I know.
So
I know.
Hurry up and very quickly start the snowball method.
Yes. This is why, because again, we're going back to this emotional idea. It will take a longer time for you to get rid of that debt that has the highest interest, because it's usually the largest ones, because you usually made that at the end. And those are the ones that are building higher rates in your debt list. So let's just forget about it. So you're going to list your debt, and you please try not to judge yourself when you're doing your exercise. It's very difficult, but just be aware of where you are. List all your debt in order from the smallest to largest. And this is not the amount of money you pay on a monthly basis. This is the total of your debt. So credit card X, car loan X, student loan X, the totals that you have. And attack the smallest debt with all your heart. We're going to get rid of it. And the rest of your other debts, you're only going to pay the minimum monthly payments for those. You have to pay the monthly fee, but don't add anything to it. And then put this mentality that in order for you to get rid of debt, you're going to have to work a little bit harder. So try to find a little side gig that is going to help you pay your debt, or ask for a raise at your job. Or if you're a business owner, start developing tools necessary in your business to make more money, right? So we're going to get that extra money to pay your debt. And then you're going to start packing that amount of extra money, not to put it back in your budget. Remember, oh my gosh, now I have money to buy the shoes. It goes back to paying your debt. So all that extra cash that you're getting in your pocket, it goes to get rid of the first line item, which is the smallest debt you have. Okay? And an example, I'm going to explain a little bit an example when we put the tool up for you guys to check. But the idea is motivation, and Saurel and I laugh about this when we work for this. Motivation is overrated. We're not asking you to be motivated to pay debt. That's very difficult to comprehend. Motivation when money is overrated. We want you to get to a point of having a neutral relationship with money. If you're in a bad relationship with money, we don't want you to jump immediately into a really good relationship with money. We just want you to go to neutral. So right now, thinking about debt to be in a neutral space will allow you to understand from an awareness perspective that you need to make changes. Are you guys following Saurel?
Totally. And what you're saying there, Andrea, is really critical. You're not paying down your debt so you can become a good person. No, this is all about building wealth and creating and leaving a legacy. You start with the budget, your compass, where you want to go. And what Andrea and I are giving you are light posts. We're shining the lighthouse so that you know not to go hit the rocks.
Exactly.
And one of the rocks is keeping oppressive around. And the snowball is going to give you the opportunity to get rid of that oppressive debt as quickly as you can.
Absolutely. Thank you, Saurel, for putting an emphasis about that word of oppressive. Oppressive is not allowing you to be free. It's not allowing you to build wealth. It's not allowing you to be who you are in this path, in this journey of financial freedom. And remember the question from our beginning, how to eliminate the debt that keeps your money, yours, working for somebody else. So your creditor it's excited to have that money coming every month to them. So what we're going to do is having that money coming back to you and work for you. Okay, so let me super quickly share my screen. 1 second, share screen. You guys should see my
It is right
inspiration
there.
thing. And then, okay, so quickly walking you, let me move this here, quickly walking you from what we have done in the last 3 days, 3 Mondays, to where we are today, because again, it's a story. Like Tara, every Wednesday, now Mondays, we're telling a story about money. This is a story, and the story is, first, we're going to build a budget, which is a zero-based budget that is going to help you take control and what you're going to do with your money every month. So in this tool that we're going to give you at the end of the series, the first tab, as you see down here, is your budget. And everything related in the order that you need to plan for, to include your debt. So we're talking about today here. You see it here. This is where you put the order that you pay on a monthly basis, which will be here at the top. The smallest one you own, which is the one that you're going to get rid of first, and then you're paying the monthly payments on the rest. Okay, first we did your budget, then we go into the savings. Remember, the first step that we told you after doing your budget was to have $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. If you have more than $1,000, please promise us that you're going to take that money and you're going to put it toward your first debt. Because if you go in this process, it's going to take you faster to get rid of debt. So then the money that you have in debt now can put it back into your 3 and 6 months of expenses. See how this is going? It's all connected. $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. If you have more, congratulations, let's grab that money and pay your debt, except your house and the small business loan that Saurel mentioned at the beginning. We're going. Now the third tab, which is called debt, this is where we're going to organize your creditor from the smallest to the largest. And I just listed a couple here. We just listed a couple here. Let me explain to you how the snowball works. Let's say that you have $500 on a medical bill, $2,500 on a credit card, $7,000 on a car loan, and $10,000 on a student loan. An example, right? Since you see here, they are already organized, smallest to the biggest. And here, just so I don't have to go back and forth from budget to this tab, I put that you have $50 payment on your medical bill on a monthly basis, $63 and $135 on your car loan, and almost $100 on your student loan. So what we're going to do is you're going to decide, how am I going to get $500 extra this month, or 2 months, 3 months, whatever your money capacity will allow you. And you put that extra cash to your $500 medical bill. Let's say that you are able to pay it in the first month. Just as an example, maybe you're not, but let's play with that. Now, instead of the second month, instead of you putting your $500 plus your $50 on that medical bill, you're going to keep momentum, and that $500, because you're not going to stop working on your extra gig and your extra money, those $500 and $50 are going to go toward your second payment. So see how this goes? It's not that those extra $500 are going to go into a miscellaneous budget. No, they're going to move into your next debt.
So by
Are
the
we
time
following,
you
guys?
get to the second line where you're paying your credit card debt, you have $550 plus your $63 payment that you're
Exactly.
applying toward the $2,500. Now that's the snow. Get that as you go, as time goes forward, the amount you're putting toward debt reduction or debt elimination gets bigger and bigger.
Mhm.
That's the snowball.
That's the beauty of it, Saurel, is now we can say that, again, this is just an example. It may take you a little bit longer, but for the benefit of explaining, first month, this is gone. So you actually mark it, is gone. In about 4 to 5 months, your second one is gone. How beautiful is that? Disappeared. And now,
And at that
yeah,
point, you have $500 plus 50 plus $2,500 plus 63, right?
exactly. So now you
It
have
could
how
be
about
that.
800? Yes, yes. And now
Yeah.
when you start adding, it goes to 700 to pay the next one. And then about when you're getting ready to start paying for your student loan, you're probably going to have around $800 on a month to pay for the student loan. So in about 30 months, maybe
You're
30
debt-free.
months, you're debt free. So see how this works? And it's all about a mentality, because we are in this situation not because it's logical. So again, forget about high interest, just do it, because now your brain gets a little bit addicted to it. Oh my gosh, next one. Oh my gosh, next one. Well, it worked for me. And I believe me, with the studies and the people, the idea and the knowledge has come from people that have done it in the past, and it's truly an emotional change. It becomes a habit. You know how much I'm big about habits and habitual routines, because it's not something that you're going to do one time and one time only. It's changing your idea and your relationship with money, so money can work for you and not somebody else.
And that starts to build the foundation, right? You start with the budget,
Mhm.
then you eliminate debt. The snowball effect creates more and more disposable cash for you to eliminate debt. And by the time you get free, you've got cash that you can now put toward savings.
And the savings, you've
Long
nailed it, Saurel. Now you've done this one, right? So you have your $1,000. You have stopped paying and giving somebody else your money, so you're debt free. Now you're in the third step, which is saving for a fully funded emergency fund between 3 and 6 months.
And
So
there
that's what
you
we
have
had. There you have it.
it.
That's what we have to
There you
share
have
with you guys
it.
today. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can connect closer to each other. And that's what we had today to share with you guys, and also to remind you, we are building this tool together, and you're going to have it at the end of the sessions, so you guys can start changing your relationship with money.
And we begin the conversation with Mr. Ronald Bertrand. Ronald.
Good morning, everybody. It's a great conversation. It's funny. I mean, when you guys came up with there's 2 types of debt, I said, what the hell these guys are saying? The debt is a debt, but it does make sense, the enriching and oppressive debt. So, I mean, I'm learning something new today. The question I have though, I've been in the position of the oppressive debt, and I'm moving to consolidating debt, where you go ahead and pretty much get a huge debt. I mean, get some money and really lump up everybody under one credit card, or under one block. I like the little breakdown you showed at the end, part medical, part student loan and car loan and all that, but package everything in once and then pay monthly that under consolidating. What's your take on that? Does that work, or is it make the process a lot dragging? What do you think?
Ronald, let me ask you, as a coach, I will go back to you as a question. Explain a little bit on how you have gotten to a point that you are making a decision about consolidation. Do you have a multiple, like the list, you have multiple debts and you just want to have one? Help me understand how your mind works, because this is very personal. Generally speaking, the snowball works when you have multiple things, so you can see progress. It's about, again, it's an emotional connection. It's not something that it is, we can say it works for everybody. But the majority of people that have worked with the snowball, it is recommended to keep it separately, because your brain see the progress and see where you are. Because like Saurel said at the beginning, potentially the difference between your high interest rate payments and your lower ones are not going to make a big dent in you, because this is an emotional situation. It's not a logical situation.
Yeah,
And-
I see your point there, because
Mhm.
I think for me, it's been more than I got too many little things, looking at too many little debt. I'd
Mhm.
rather really lump it up in one and just pay it up that way. Like, when you add them all, if I need to pay $500-700 or $1,000, consolidating in a month, it's easier for me to just do that as opposed to, do the piecemeal kind of situation.
It's a matter of preference.
Mhm.
And here's the warning bell, okay? There is avoiding the annoyance of
Mhm.
several little bills or several bills, and yet still being in debt, because the consolidation happens to be now a big
A
oppressive
new
debt,
debt. Yes.
as opposed to a series of oppressive debts. So you've got to watch that piece out,
Yep.
because there is no way you take a number of oppressive debts and turn them into an enriching debt.
Yep.
It's just an oppressive debt. The idea is to really create the mindset to eliminate it, and eliminate it as fast as you can.
Yep.
I've seen people take consolidated approach, and really now they've got a 15-year loan that's an oppressive debt over 15 years.
Yep.
So it all depends on what you're doing. And if I were in your place, taking the snowball method and applying it to the consolidated debt, that's what I would do. I would set a goal for myself to say that's X amount. I'm going to pay it off in X number of months,
Mhm.
and add to the payment as much as you need to add to it to meet that goal. The goal is to eliminate oppressive debt.
Yep.
That's the idea.
And the other thing that's very good, Saurel. And the other thing that I want you to evaluate before you make this decision, Ronald, when you consolidate your debt, you're actually creating a new debt. So the whole idea is for you to stop creating debt. If I were you in your shoes, I, Andrea, will not consolidate, because my mind is open the idea that I can do this in the future again if I'm not able to pay for this consolidation. So the whole idea is, like in an ER, you need to stop the bleeding. So if I were you, I will not consolidate, but that's just me, Andrea, and my beliefs that you need to stop the bleeding. You don't get any more debt. Stop it. Stop opening credit cards and stop opening debt and start paying. Just list them. I know it's annoying. I can help you. Give me the list. We organize it, and if you have extra cash, we get rid of the first one. So that will be my personal, as a friend, recommendation. But as we are saying, it's your approach. It's whatever works for you as a person. And it is changing your relationship with money.
And we did say
Yep.
at the beginning that there are two types of debts, right? Oppressive debt, and for small business owners and entrepreneurs, enriching debt. Could be a mortgage, it could be a small business loan. That's for another conversation.
Yep.
So one last thing, do you have that spreadsheet available?
Yes, like I was saying at the beginning, we want to send that at the end, but if you want a portion right now, we can distribute it if you want it. But we are building it. We're building it together for your benefit.
Okay, good.
Good deal. Well, there you have it, folks. Today's episode on eliminating the kind of debt that leaves your money working for somebody else. Now, when your money is working for somebody else, how you love is a little bit disturbed. So we're going to end with our 7 tenets. Love your, keep it working for you. Stress less. if you've got your money working for you, you will stress less, and you'll be able to laugh out loud, and you'll be able to go to nice, fancy vegan, plant-based restaurants and eat mostly plant-based. You'll be able to give. You'll be able to sleep soundly and easily. And last but not least, you will move and shake what your mama gave you. This is your Daily Huddle. My name is Saurel Quettan. My partner is Andrea Villa, and the co-founder of the Daily Huddle is Giovanni Gonzalez. Tomorrow morning, you'll be right here on this channel with Vince Roundtree and Roland Veneta. Welcome to your life, and thank you for being here. Bye-bye, Shiva.